Yo, what's up? A bit of an update. I haven't been playing much, so I'm only like level 88 on the character right now. But as you can see, I'm CI, and here's the tree right now. If this was actual harvest and I was playing the build, I will probably drop out these 7 nodes to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then these to take a jewel, and then the cleansing bloats. And right now I would be at 68 attack block and 42 spell block. So that would be pretty nice already. And then from there, I'm not sure, we would probably not prioritize getting this as much as getting a cluster jewel. Hopefully we get like a medium damage jewel, so it outweighs not having the Bread of Rhyme, and then probably the avoidance one. But yeah, the POB for this is gonna be in the the comments and the description as well. But yeah, some basic gear. I have now unveiled a T3 cold damage for the multiplier, so that's kind of nice. It would be very easy to get a better one than this, but it's pretty good. I'll just rather use it. Some randomized ring with this is basically a 3 mod. Actually, not even that. It's just the ES, the all resist. I mean, I guess the all resist is a decent roll, so I consider that. Basically this is alt out recall, so you get the ES, double resist, and then the faster recharge. Same here. I don't actually need the strength. I could live without the strength. I would just, yeah, as you can. The only strength I need right now is for my weapon, and I would probably just take physique for that. But it's nice to have that extra strength. We could also use a heavy belt instead of a chain belt. But again, this is not exactly the greatest of belts, so it's fine. Alt Aug Greek, Alt Helm. Basically, I was just like hoping to get a decent flat ES. Managed to hit the actual T1, so that was really nice. A decent 3 mod chest piece. The stun and block recovery is actually not a entirely shit mod because we are not stun immune. So that makes it faster when we occasionally do get stunned if we run out of ghost routes. Random ass, alt out regal shield. I had a couple other options and I ended up using this because it just had the nice resistances. This is actually a temple amulet. The region ES kind of doesn't do much, but this is 0.2% region because of the Wicked Ward. But it's an okay amulet. Wouldn't be too much of a issue to get a better one. Like I would probably just get a strength plus dex amulet, like a citrine, and then just alt aug regal or something like that, or just do the alch crafting by vendoring up the amulet with 3 like different gems, like blue, red, and green, and then just alch. But I don't exactly have them in alchs. Random alt aug regal boots, which is basically just a 3 mod because the life is a completely dead mod, but it works. Also, random ass gloves. I actually do have the avoidance now. I got it at the end of the stream yesterday. So I could potentially try to roll another pair, but the issue with here is that you kind of need two ES prefixes, at least on the helm. It's not so important on the gloves. Like these gloves are like almost 100 ES without the craft, so it's okay. But yeah. Here's again the tree, and we also spend a bunch of time on toying around with like what's a like super min-maxed build that you could do in softcore trade would look like. So this is a 3.9 mil vortex DPS with a 2.8 mil cold snap. Now this is without frenzy charges, so this is we're talking about like actual boss damage now. With frenzy charges they go up a lot higher, and you could also use Bottle of Faith for even more damage. So if you have Bottle of Faith for mapping and we consider the frenzy charges. That's almost 3.5 mil on the Cold Snap, and then another 8.3 mil on the Vortex. Again, this tree is gonna be in the comments as well, so if somebody who, you know, wants to toss a lot of money, this is like multiple 100 exalts kind of tree right now. Like, for example, our body armor is a Crusader boom chest with like 600 ES. So this is very hard to come by, so you need to get lucky with getting the prefixes. If you hit the prefixes, the suffixes are very easy to get. You just meta craft the remaining. The wand is this is a Alt Aug Regald one, where you, and then Beast Imprint crafted like Regald until you hit the spell damage. So that's Alt Aug, sorry, not Alt Aug Regald, but Alt Aug for the damage over time multi and the +1 levels. It doesn't actually matter if it's +1 all skills or +1 cold. It's the same thing. It only gives like a +1 level to like discipline. That matters. Nothing else is kind of whatever. Shield is a, well, this is again meta crafted shield where you hit the suffixes. I'm not actually sure when it has the crafted tree mods. This is like this is like my friend's old tree that he modified a bit. But what you would do with the shield is also it shouldn't have the spell damage. This was a different base, so that you can actually just take that out. Let's take the spell damage out. Doesn't belong there because the titanium. There we go. So how you craft the shield is you get a Baron plus Shaper shield, and then you awaken Orb Shaper with the spell block, and the Baron with the ES on block, and then you meta exalt the prefixes until you'd hit the +1 cold, and then either high percentage ES, and then you would craft the remaining, either the flat or the percentage, and from there you exalt the last. You could also potentially just do the exalting until you hit the +1 cold, and after that you just multi-mod the 2 ES prefixes, and that's a decent shield. But the reason why we went spell block on the actual shield here is because eventually, ideally, you would want to use Confident Combatant, because this is a lot of damage. Let me actually just take the frenzy charges and the Bottle of Faith out for like accurate like boss DPS. So this, as you can see, is a lot of damage, and that's because we have so much block. Like, we are not even capped attack block on this setup. You can get it, but I don't think it's really worth the investment. There's a few ways you could get it, but like, for example, just taking, that's 2% extra block there, but it's kind of whatever. But yes, it does 72% damage for each of these nodes, and we have 3 of them, and then we have three Brush with Death and Exposure Therapy Gold Up clusters, and well, other gear we'd have. These gloves are actually, with maybe the exception of the prefixes, getting a double corrupted gloves in softcore is not gonna be that hard, because all you need to do is get a bunch of Delirium essences, and then you need like you need 2 open prefixes and an open suffix, so you can 2 open suffixes and an open prefix, and you to do the avoid elemental ailments with the AoE craft, and then you just double corrupt until you hit something good. It doesn't even necessarily need to be +2/+2, it could be +1/+2, and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and I guess go back to going to the chest piece, you do not need the Baron Boom Boom, but we just like, well, if you have the monies and you go for it. Also, you can definitely drop one of the ES mods, and the build's still gonna be more than fine in defenses. Boots are Redeemer Shaper boots, so we go for the elemental avoidance here. So we actually get avoidance without any of the cluster jewels, as you can notice. We get 20% from Arcane Swiftness, then we get 25% from Helm and Glove, so that's 70%. And then we only need 30% from boots, and the boots shape roll goes up to 35%. So there's some leeway on where you get the max rolls on here. Like you don't necessarily need to hit the max roll on the gloves, so you don't have to divine them like crazy. The helm is, I think this is a Redeemer. Yeah, that's a Redeemer item, and that's because of the cold resist, the minus cold resist. So this is basically dense and frigid, and then you just do that until you hit the minus cold. Probably hide ideally some cold resist. You most likely hit that because it's a frigid fossil, and then some decent ES rolls. And with an open suffix, you craft the avoidance. This you can actually keep crafting until you hit the max roll, and you're good. The amulet is very hard to get. It's a, but it's obtainable. This is basically dense and frigid. It's more feasible probably to just do frigid and or alt aug and then just spray. It's like it is very hard to obtain, but I mean the damage is like absolutely ridiculous with the level of gear. Getting it to like 2 mil for Vortex isn't that hard, and that already like clears everything there is that you really need to clear about the game. You have 2 opal rings, obviously, because damage, so you could lose easily a lot of damage here for resistances, so then you can go like full on like on the amulet and other stuff. But yeah, cold damage suffixes, and this is it's a Crusader because it has percentage ES on there. Again, this would probably be, I mean, a minimum dense, but probably dense plus frigid crafting or something like that, and then just annul the resistances. And this would be so that you can craft Aspect of the Spider in one of them, and then in other you want to have shock nearby enemies for 4 seconds when you focus, and that's going to be a 10% shock. We can take that off to show the difference. It's not really that big of a deal, but when you do have the shock, it's a 12-second cooldown on the focus, and then you have 4-second duration on it, so it's a decent uptime. We have a pretty solid belt, so this is again Crusader because it percentage ES rolls. So this is purely just dense, and I guess you can do frigid and hope for the cold resist as well. And then we've just hoped that we can have open prefix so we can craft the evasion ES. We have an onslaught with just some resistances and ES as a jewel. You could also get, there's like you could get fire or lightning damage to attacks here as the last mod, and that would allow you to shield EE with your shield shards. Oh yeah, speaking of that, in the last video I had some wonky setup here, was like minus 75% resist. That's because last time I played around with the Vortex setups, the ignore skill hit damage tag wasn't there. But yeah, because if you don't have this, then it considers the Vortex or Cold Snap, whatever you have that here, to actually hit for the calculation, regardless if you have the cold damage attacked or not, and that's why the damage goes down a lot. So I just didn't know of this existing, so yeah, there's that. What else? So start on random flasks. The flask is actually where we are simulating the effect of Bone Chill. I hope we don't actually have Bone Chill ticked here right now. Yeah, we need to take that out. So that drops the damage a bit, but so the idea here is that because it's quite hard to simulate the Bone Chill, it doesn't work quite as well, so we just slap in the effect of the Bone Chill. So depending on the chill that you inflict, up to 30% increased damage taken, and then a level 21 20 gem also gives like what is it? It gives you another 30% increased cold damage taken over time for the enemy, so that's totals up to 60%. So if you take this out, you can see the damage goes up, like down like crazy. The medium class jewels, so again, this is a min-max setup. So here we have a bunch. All of the small cluster jewels are corrupted for minus reduced reservation. If you don't have that, you can literally just take this, and that solves the issue. But we need 4 jewels with the corruption, and these are just random 3 mod jewels, so it's not exactly out of the like impossible to not like get these, especially in like softcore trade. Even in hardcore trade, you just mass buy them, you alt out Regal or Chaos Spam until you hit the confident compound and some other decent 2 or 3 mods, and then you just slam. It's a much easier to get than some of the Herald stacking jewels, and people have a lot of those with the reduced reservations as well. And then on top of that, we have one of the Thread of Hopes corrupted for reduced monetization. It doesn't actually matter where you corrupt them, but you do need 4%. Otherwise, you don't have enough mana to cast your skills. With the amount of region we have, this is totally fine. But yeah, what else? I think that's actually pretty much it. Oh yeah, this has a pretty expensive Watcher's Eye with the damage or die multi and ES from Clarity. Now it's not a end of the world in terms of our ES numbers to lose it. It's like 900 or something like that, and like 400k here with the proper setup for the damage. So yeah, the build has some pretty high potential, but then again, I question why invest all of this money when you could just buy a headhunter and do something else. But in case somebody wanted to do like some crazy investment in softcore, I have the BOP there for them to look at to see what they kind of need to go for to get the idea of like how to get the numbers. But yeah, I think that's probably it for me for this update. I guess I'll actually go and showcase a 2 watchtone Conqueror. So yeah, I'll and a Conqueror map, so it's gonna be like a T8 or T9 or something like that. We're still on 4 links with level 19 gems. I think my Shaper DPS right now is somewhere around 250 to 300k or something like that. I think, I don't remember exactly. My damage hasn't been an issue at all when mapping. I've done a few red maps and it's feels like it's a like T8 map. I don't actually notice a difference. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video with a quick run of the map and the boss. So yeah, see you guys on the next one.
Judging by the trailer.
Why don't you lay down your weapons and talk it over? I will never go down without a fight, beast! I'm better! How quick are you? Out! Strike!